Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you will need is either a scissor or a nail cutter. I'm going a little off camera now. Okay, so here we have some nail buffers. I have a few of them. Then I have some measured nail tips that I've already measured according to my nail size, and I've just allocated them. Then I have some cuticle oil here. Then I have a nail pusher. This nail pusher has a pushing end as well as a pink end. So I have a nail glue here. This one is a really nice nail glue. I have a base coat. The one I'm using here is the Nika Double Duty 2-in-1 coat. Then I have a hand cream that I will be using. A glitter nail paint. This is optional. Those who want to have a glitter nail, can go ahead and have that. Then I have a normal nail paint. The color that I wish to use today will be this one from Nika. It's called Lilac Kisses. So this one is a nail polish remover, as you all know. I have a cuticle trimmer here. So let's begin. I'm just using this nail cream first to moisturize my hands before we begin. We need to have a neat moisturized hand. So closing it up. So my hands are nicely moisturized now. I'm using the cuticle oil to first put it into my fingers and nails and massaging it in a little bit before we begin. This will help us to soften the cuticles for the trimming as well as pushing. So let's massage. See, while we are doing that, as you noticed that my nails are quite small, so short nails. Actually, okay, so here I have some nail tips. I got these one from Amazon. You can get these in any fancy store. You can even order on Amazon. They can't cost you more than 200 bucks. So here I'm trying to find the right match for my nail. You can try it out this way, so you will be able to know what matches your nail the most according to the size. So just to show you, I'm taking a bigger nail tip. As you can see, it's coming beyond the cuticle area. So that's not what you want. You want something that fits right in. So this is an example of how it should be like. I'm just showing you how to find the right fit. So I found it. So that's how I've allocated these tips according to all the nails. So I'm going to show you how to buff and create that perfect match for your nails. Although it seems like it's perfect, but we need to buff it even more to get that perfect shape. So I'm going to buff the sides here. The tip is a little curvy, which I don't like. So I'm just going to buff it up a little bit. Also, you have that line. Usually all the nail tips have that line. We want to buff till that line on the front side as well, because this will be sticking onto our nails and we don't want there to be a difference between the actual nail and your tip. So we are trying to blend this as well before sticking it on. So I have all the buffed nail tips here, the front. So it's all buffed neatly. It's not really neat, you can just buff it according to your wish. So all I wanted was a smooth surface on my nail, so I just made sure that this is buffed before we go ahead. So now I'm pushing my cuticles back to create a bigger canvas. So here I am using the pink tip after pushing the cuticles back. I'll be using the pink tip to do a little bit of buffing on the nail itself so I can create a rough surface. This will help the actual nail tip to stick onto your nails easily and for a longer time. If the surface is smooth, the nail tips will not be able to stick. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So once that's done, I'm taking a buffer now. So that's roughing up the surface, like you can see. I'm doing that for all the fingers. Just roughly do it. You don't have to, do it very hard. So I'm just brushing up all the buffed powders, Then here we are with the nail glue. We'll start taking the steps. So I'm taking the nail glue here, trying to open it up. So here it is. Make sure you only use a nail glue. Please don't use a Fevicol or Fevikwik for this. So I'm taking the nail, trying to figure out which one matches which. As you can see, this one is not the match because it's smaller. Always make sure when you're sticking the nail, make sure there is a small gap between the cuticle and the actual tip, because that gap will help you buff the nail tip in such a way that it blends with your actual nail. So we want to blend it with your actual nail. So here I've stuck one nail with the nail glue. This is how you're supposed to stick. So the nail glue, I'm just showing you how to stick the rest of the fingers. So I'm taking this one here, which is the right match for my other finger. So I'm spreading the glue across the entire tip, not the whole tip but across. So I'm leaving a small gap between the cuticle and the tip. So I've stuck that. You want to make sure it sticks really nicely. You want to take your time, let it dry, hold it up so it's like nice and strong. I'm using the nail pusher to push the cuticle a little back, and you can see the gap. Can you see the gap? That's what we want. So I'm gonna tighten the glue with the nail, so you can see the gap here as well. The sides, it's okay, you don't really need a gap, but make sure you find a tip that doesn't leave a huge gap. Over here you can see it's perfect. Okay, now we're going to do it the same way for all the fingers. Now you can see that I've stuck all the nails according to the sizes. I've made sure to leave a small gap between the cuticle skin and the tip. You can see they're strong. There's the gap. See the gap? You want that. Make sure it's the same gap on all the fingers. So I'm taking the nail cutter. You can even use a snizzer to snip the ends. So here I'm using the pink end of this nail pusher to measure how much I want to keep. So that's the size. So I'm making sure the tip touches the cuticle and the end touches the nail. So that's what I want. So I'm creating a measurement here. So I've marked the size. So I'm going to cut there. You can see again the pink tip to the end of the pink tip. The pink tip in the cuticle till the end of the pink tip. So I'm taking the nail cutter here, snipping off the excess. So one method that I would like to show you, in case the nail cutter isn't going throughout the nail, what you could do is create 2 snips on the sides, twist the end either way and pull it up. So that's what happened here. So it just came off very easily. So that's what we are going to do for the rest of the fingers. Measuring it, creating a mark. See that? Created that mark. We're going to cut that. So in case it's a little crooked like here, you can just snip it a little bit to equalize the ends. So here I'm just snipping a little bit of the tips to create a neat surface. So the sides, you can see they are very sharp. The sides, so I'm just snipping a little bit on the sides. I'm just perfecting it here. So cutting the sides, like you can see. So that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the fingers. See that side? That's what we want to cut. It'll be really sharp. Please make sure you cut that side before you begin any other procedure. Don't wait till you buff, because this might at times even cut you. So again, I'm perfecting the edges. So that's how you want it. We can buff this later on. We can perfect it later on. But the sides is what we are concentrating on right now. See that? So I'm measuring again, cutting the tip. So let me do that and get back for all the fingers. So now that we've done all the cutting and cutting the edges and stuff like that, I'm still left with a few, so I'm just doing it on camera. So we're done. It's time to buff. I'm using one of these buffers. You can start however you want. You can start from the tips or in the center where your actual nail is touching the fake nails. You want to blend your fake nails with your natural nails, so there isn't any difference. You want to make sure it's exactly blended you want to make sure it's a smooth surface. You don't want there to be a difference between the natural nails and the fake nails. So this is how I've blended the tips. So I've buffed the tips here. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of the fingers. I'm showing you a few here. So now that you can see, I've buffed the edges here. So now we have a small difference between the natural tip and the fake nails. So we want to blend that surface there and equalize the surface. Like you can see, I've created the gap. That is what is going to help us here. You can see the difference between the natural nail and the fake nails. We want to blend that now. I'm going to go ahead and blend that. So you see that? That's how you're supposed to do it. Just make sure the fake nails cannot be felt. The moment you touch your nails, you shouldn't be able to feel the fake nails. Your natural nails and your fake nails should not meet each other. You should have blended up really smoothly. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Take your time, do this. This is the most important part of the, see that? You haven't reached the point yet. So that's what we are trying to do. We're going to blend it even more. I'm taking a brush here, buffing up the excess dust. See that? It has to be smooth. Although we are able to see the difference, but it should feel smooth. It shouldn't feel like there is a, So that's what we're going to do for the rest of the fingers.